We're pushing close on the end of time. Maybe I should
You thought about that all
right, rude to say that. Anyway, it's almost 9 o'clock, and there's a few people that I want to thank and have them maybe come up and say something. And I was going to get to a field emergency first aid talk, but I wanted to be respectful of your time. We talked about it being until 9 o'clock. I know that I'm going to do a video for a group that Wayne has, and we'll put that online, and it'll be about 20-25 minutes, and it'll be just some basic first aid things. We will go over just real quick though. Where's Mike?
He's outside.
Yeah. Anyway, some of the things we'll go over just real quick, sort of like, I mean, everybody talks about a bug out bag. How many people have a bug out bag? Okay. Well, there's a bug out bag, and there's the not a chance that I will ever leave this bag, which is probably only about that big. And it doesn't include all your food and stuff. It's that one right there. It is the one that Mike has one somewhere, and I've got one. And we're going to go over some of the things that you've got to have. Because whether it's when the crap hits the fan scenario, or whether it's you're driving to Mobile and you have a blowout and your car runs off the road and you're stuck there for a couple of days because you're in a ditch and nobody can find you. That's the kind of stuff that can happen, and we've all seen what tornadoes can do. But yeah, that'll happen. We'll be pulling the plug on that one. You want to go over that real quick? And you missed the first part. No, we were waiting on you. We don't charge extra for the comedy or anything, by the way.
I'm a big believer in having stuff available when you need it. If you're
Louder, please, sir.
okay, pardon me. Sorry. If you've got a bunch of stuff at the house, it doesn't do you any good if it's at the house and you're at the mall or something. So, this is just an example. I'm just kind of throwing some stuff in here. During the Gifford shooting in Arizona, one of the things that the law enforcement had there, they had just put these kits in everybody's car. It's a little major trauma kit, basically, in every police officer's car. They're not all trained on how to do it. You don't want a police officer doing first aid, if possible. Trust me. But this, I keep something like this in the car. It's just a little bag of grabs, and I've got some stuff in here. We're talking about everyday carry. I don't go out of the house without a pistol, without a knife, without a flashlight, and this little bag that stays in the car. That's from a law enforcement standpoint. I guess I've had it drilled in me for so long. You always want to be prepared for something. That's the Boy Scouts way back when, But, having a way to defend yourself. Go ahead.
Let's put it this way about a bug out bag. Okay, my sister and my oldest daughter were in Tuscaloosa at the time of the tornadoes. They went to work and came home to nothing. No house, no nothing. But because my family's always been prepared like that, each one of them had a bug out bag that could live out of for 3 days. It could be in a hotel, it could be in the woods, or it could be in the car. But they were prepared. They had money, they had all their documents, they had copies of birth certificates, checking account, driver's license, everything in that box. I got it on Word, and I can email it to you. But those things are lifesavers.
That's right. And, that's the whole, I guess, prepper mentality, being prepared for whatever comes about. We've seen Katrina, we've seen the April tornadoes, Staten Island's the most recent, and you can even pull from these shooter events. But one of the things with the Gifford shooting out in, I think it was Arizona, all these law enforcement had stuff right there available. And if you have a traumatic, injury like that, what's the most important thing at that point? You know, plug the holes, you know, stop the bleeding. So, you know, some of the things in law enforcement, they're getting towards tourniquetation and some of the quick clot things. And I was going to show you a few of those. Some of this I'm not going to open because it's don't want to have it. But I'll explain. Just a quick bag you can throw in the back. It doesn't have to look pretty. This one I stole from another police officer. It's nice. Yeah, he's got one.
In the back of Dave's car.
We'll play the fifth. What these are cat tourniquets. You can buy these online for 20 bucks or so. You can make your own tourniquet, but if you got shot in the arm, if you got this readily available, you know, and a lot of law enforcement too, they'll have a little drop leg, a little pouch on their belt where they can grab this real quick. But it's basically an adjustable loop with Velcro that's got an internal cord. So once you, my mannequin here, so he's got shot right here, okay? You want to get above wherever the wound is. All right, you're going to cinch this down. You can use this yourself usually. You're going to cinch it down as tight as you can. I'm being nice to Al. That's right. And this little polymer stick here has got a loop going through it that also runs through the little apparatus here. But you start twisting this thing, and you start twisting until the bleed stops. You know, and this is just a temporary thing. The more blood that goes out, the more likely you are to have some other issues. It's not a good thing.
Another thing that will work for that, Walter, you can confirm this, a blood pressure cuff. You know, it doesn't hurt to have one because you can check your blood pressure, or have someone check your blood pressure. You can do that for one of your relatives or friends, but a blood pressure cuff above the wound, you can pump it up, you can let some of the air off, because with a tourniquet you don't want to leave it as tight as you can for extended periods of time. You want to be able to loosen it just a bit, but that would work. The blood pressure cuff would work as well, so just something to think about.
My understanding though, if you go that route, that's last resort, it goes on, it stays on.
Yeah, until you get to the
Right.
ER.
You know,
Tighten it up enough to keep direct pressure on a wound as well. You don't necessarily want to go all the way up and deprive all that oxygen and nutrients to where they would have to.
And a tourniquet, you don't have to.
well,
And
you're
two-
right, and that,
You know, too, we're talking, what's going on, you know? If I got shot in the arm and there's still a guy out, you know, gallivanting with an AR in the mall or something, and, you know, I'm pinned down or something, I can't get it, you know, medical personnel, if there's still a guy shooting, they're probably not going in. You know, I don't know if there's any medical personnel here that's emergency responder type thing here, but, you know, if there's lead flying, they're probably, you know, that's above their pay grade is what they feel.
Yeah, the incident out there in California, the guys with the suits of armor, everybody pinned down, they had a police officer that was really bad shot. They would not come in and get him, and finally they commandeer a armored car or something and go in there and get these guys.
That's right.
But you got a choice between living and dying. Who cares about your arm?
Yeah.
just an arm.
Yeah, it's just an arm, you know, you're gonna be in a casket, who cares?
These are quick clot, these little combat sponges or combat gauze. These are kind of, they've got an agent in there that will kind of start the coagulation process.
Where can you get them, Mike?
You can get these online. Not sure of any.
Amazon.
Yeah. There's a cool prepper store in Atlanta. So if you're ever in Atlanta, you can get these. That's where I got these.
What's the name of it again, sir?
The place in Atlanta is called True Prepper. These things, it's a quick clot, and they've got a couple different kinds. They've got a combat gauze, and supposedly these are only issued to the military, but
Well, you can get what they call these Israeli bands, 4 and 6 inch, which has a quick clot in it.
yeah,
You can get those on Amazon for $6 to $8.
yeah. Now, these ain't bad to have, the Israeli bandage was I'm going to next, but this has an agent in it. You're going to apply direct pressure with these things wherever it hurts, wherever there's, blood spurting out. And this is to help stop the bleeding, basically, because that's kind of the main
There's
thing.
one more thing you probably don't think about being a guy. This may hit a little home for the women, but tampons are the size of bullet holes, and they're designed to
That's what I was
absorb blood.
just to bring up. My wife, when we got an ammo box and made a major for a teddy kit, and that's what she said. We forgot to go down the ladies' aisle. I said,
Yeah.
They're sterile.
Yeah,
I need
it's
to get
sterile.
the-
Yeah, but make sure if you do that, if you use a tampon, of course, leave the cord out, but put a piece of tape over the top of it. And put some quick clot in it if you've got it. I mean, a lot of these things, the bug out bags you have at home. I mean,
Cayenne pepper.
Yeah.
Cayenne pepper will help cauterize laceration.
Super glue.
Super glue will close it up.
Yeah, but what is this for? What is this for? It's temporary. It's to get you to the hospital so somebody else can take care of you.
Keep you survive.
That's
Help
right.
you survive.
Like you said, the Israeli bandage, this has got the quick clot in it, but it's also got a long bandage that you can use to wrap that appendage or whatever. Now, if you get shot in the head, will this work? It's not gonna work. So keep that in mind too, Also, sucking chest wounds, if you get shot in the chest, the material that this is made out of, it may be big enough for, to cover that area, to keep that seal going, because that's an issue with that. You get, damage and penetrates the lungs. So, just a basic kit, and a lot of people were saved, and we're talking about out in Arizona during the Gifford shooting. A lot of people would have probably died had it not been for all this stuff that was right there on the scene at the time. So this stuff does help out. Officers get shot more than I'd like to see, but it does happen. And this stuff does work. If you're having to wait a second, or EMS can't get to you right then, this may buy you some time, and that's what you really want to do in something like this.
And it may not even be getting shot. Anybody hunt here?
Yeah, lacerations or
You
anything.
fall down.
Have you ever heard of Doom and Bloom?
Yeah.
The website?
Doomandbloom.com. That's a very good resource for medical stuff as it applies to the kind of prepper mentality. There's a nurse and there's a doctor on there that kind of
Started,
put out some
yeah,
stuff.
the Dr. Arian started it.
Yeah.
And they have great stuff.
The everyday carry, back to that aspect, if you feel comfortable carrying a firearm, I'm all for it. With training, I don't know, going out here to Helena at the wildlife management area by yourself on a Saturday with some of the guys that I've seen out there may not be the best. I'm not saying they're all that way, but I've seen a few that are kind of questionable.
What's this thing?
Yeah. What's this thing?
You see the thing that barrel?
A good knife, paracord, some stuff like that. I like knives, get you a good sturdy knife, something that's not gonna break or, fold back on you when you're trying to cut something and injure yourself more, That's right, zombie apocalypse, That knife.